Hi guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to Matthew 7 to 12, Proverbs 3, and Psalm 69. Let's get started. Judge not that you may be not judged. For with the judgment you pronounce, you'll be judged, and with the measure you use, you'll be measured to. Why do you see the speck that is in your brother's eye, but do not notice the log that is in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, and there is the log in your own eye? You hypocrite, let us take the log out of your own eye, and then you'll see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. Do not give dogs what is holy, and do not throw your pearls before pigs, lest they trample them underfoot and tend to attack you. And ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you'll find. Knock, and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds. And to the one who knocks, it will be opened. Or which one of you, if a son asks him for bread, will give him a stone, or if he asks for a fish, will give him a serpent? If you then, who are evil, know how to give a good gift for yourself to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him? So whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them, for this is the law and the prophets. Enter by the narrow gate, for the gate is wide, and the way is easy that leads to destruction, and those who enter by it are many. For the gate is narrow, and the way is the trial that leads to life, and those who find out you, there are false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, and inwardly are in ravenous wolves. You will recognize them by their fruits. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes, or figs from thistles? So every health tree bears good fruit, and the diseased tree bears bad fruit. Healthy tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a diseased tree bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus you will recognize them by their fruits. Now, not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. On that day many will say to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and cast out demons in your name, and do many mighty works in your name? And then I declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. Everyone who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, but it did not fall, because it had been founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat against the house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. And when Jesus finished these sayings, the crowd was astonished at his teaching. He was teaching them as one who had authority, and not as their scribes. And he carried him down from the mountain, and great crowds followed him. And behold, a leper came to him and knelt before him, saying, Lord, if you will, you can make me clean. And Jesus stretched out his hand and touched him, saying, I will be clean. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. And Jesus said, see that you say nothing to anyone, but go, show yourself to the priest, and offer the gift that Moses commanded, to reprove him. And then he had entered Capernaum. A centurion came forward to appealing to him, Lord, my servant is lying paralyzed at home, suffering terribly. And he said to him, I will come and heal him. And the centurion replied, Lord, I am not worthy to have you come under my roof. I only say the word, and my servant will be healed. For I too am a man under authority, and with soldiers under me. And I say to one, go, and he goes. Then to another, come, and he comes. And to my servant, do this, and he does it. And Jesus heard this, and laughed, and said to those who followed him, truly I tell you, with no one in this have I found such faith. I tell you, many will come from east and west, and recline at the table with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven, while the sons of the kingdom will be thrown into the outer darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And to the centurion Jesus said, go, let it be done for you as you believe. And the servant was healed at that very moment. And when Jesus entered Peter's house, saw his mother-in-law lying sick with a fever. He touched her hand, and the fever left her. When she rose and began to serve him, that evening they brought to him many who were oppressed by demons, and he cast out the spirits with a word, and healed all who were sick. This was to fulfill what was spoken by the prophet Isaiah. He took out illnesses and brought out disease. And when Jesus saw a crowd around him, he gave orders to go over to the other side. And a scribe came up and said to him, Teacher, I'll follow you wherever you go. And Jesus said to him, foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. And another disciple said to him, Lord, let me first go to my very Father. And Jesus said to him, follow me, and leave the dead to bury their own dead. And when he got into the boat, his disciples followed him. And behold, there arose a great storm on the sea, so that the boat was being swarmed by the waves. And he was asleep, so they went and woke him, saying, Save us, Lord, we are perishing. And he said to him, Why are you afraid? Are you of little faith? And he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. And the men marveled, and saying, What sort of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? And when he came to the other side, the country of the Gadarenes, to Judea and possessed met him coming out of the tomb, so fear that no one could pass. And behold, they cried out, "What have you to do with us, O son of God? Have you come here to torment us before time?" Now a herd of many pigs was feeding at some distance from them, and the demons begged him, saying, "If you cast us out, send us away into the herd of pigs." And he said to them, "Go." So they came out and went into the pigs, and behold, the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the sea and drowned in the water. The herdsmen fled, and going into the sea, they told everything, especially what had happened to the demon-possessed man. And behold, all their city came out to meet Jesus, and they saw him. They begged him to leave their region. And getting into a boat, they crossed over. He crossed over and came to his own city. And behold, some people brought to him a paralytic lying on a bed. And Jesus saw their faith. He said to the paralytic, "Take heart, my son, for your sins are forgiven." And behold, some of the scribes said to themselves, "This man is blaspheming." But Jesus, knowing their thoughts, said, "Why would you think evil in your hearts? Which is easier, to say your sins are forgiven, or to say, rise and walk? And you may know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins." And he said to the paralytic, "Rise, pick up your bed and go home." And he rose and went home, and the crowd saw it. They were afraid, and they glorified God, who had given such authority to men. As Jesus passed on from there, he saw a man called Matthew sitting at the tax booth. He said, "Follow me." And he arose and followed him. And as Jesus reclined at table in the house, behold, many tax collectors and sinners came and all reclining with Jesus and his disciples. And the Pharisees saw this, and he said to his disciples, "Now I choose your teacher, you with tax collectors and sinners." And when he heard it, he said, "You shall well have no need for a physician, but those will say, go and learn what this means. I desire mercy and not sacrifice. Came not to call the righteous, but sinners." And the disciples of John came to him, saying, "Why do the Pharisees fast, but the disciples do not fast?" And Jesus said to them, "In the wedding guests mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them. The days will come when the bridegroom is taken away from them, and then they will fast. No one puts a piece of unshrunk cloth on an old garment, nor the patch tears away from the garment, and no worse tear is made. Neither is new wine put into old wineskins. If it is, the skins burst and the wine is spilled, and the skins are destroyed. And new wine is put into fresh wineskins, and so both are preserved." While he was saying these things to them, behold, a ruler came in and knelt before him, saying, "My daughter's just died, but come and lay your hand on her, and she will live." And Jesus rose and followed him, and with his disciples. And behold, a woman who had suffered from a discharge of blood for 12 years came up behind him and touched the fringe of his garment. For he said to herself, "If I only touch his garment, I will be made well." And Jesus turned and seeing her, he said, "Take heart, daughter, your faith has made you well." And instantly the woman was made well. And when Jesus came to the ruler's house and saw the flute playing, and the crowd making a commotion, he said, "Go away, the girl is not dead, but sleeping." And they laughed at him. And when the crowd had been put outside, he went and took her by the hand, and they go over. And the report of this went through all that district. And as Jesus passed on from there, two blind men followed him, crying aloud, "Have mercy on us, son of David." And then he entered the house where the blind man came to, and Jesus said to them, "Do you believe that I am able to do this?" They said to him, "Yes, Lord." And then he touched their eyes. Saying, "According to the faith, your faith will be done to you." And their eyes were open, and Jesus sternly warned them, and you see that no one knows about it. And they went away and spread his fame throughout all that district. And they are going away, behold, a demon oppressed man whose meat was brought to him, and the demon had been cast out. The mute man spoke, and the crowds marveled, saying, "Never was anything like this being seen in Israel." And the Pharisees said, "He casts out demons by the prince of demons." And Jesus went throughout all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues, and proclaiming the gospel of the kingdom, and healing for every disease and every affliction. When he saw the crowds, he was compassionate for them, because they were harassed and helpless like sheep without a shepherd. And he said to his disciples, "The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore pray earnestly to the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest." And he called to him his 12 disciples and gave them authority over unclean spirits to cast them out, and to heal every disease and every affliction. And names of the 12 apostles are there: first Simon, who was called Peter, and Andrew's brother James, the son of Zebedee, and John's brother Philip, and Bartholomew, Thomas, and Matthew the tax collector, James the son of Alphaeus, and Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. These 12 Jesus instructed them, "Go nowhere among the Gentiles, and enter no town of the Samaritans, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And proclaim it, you go, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse the lepers, drive out demons, cast out demons. You receive without pay, and you give without pay. You acquire no gold or silver, copper for your belts, and no bag for your journey, or teachers or sandals or sleep off, as the labourer deserves his food. And whatever town you village you enter, find out who is worth it. In it, and stay there until you depart. As you enter the house, greet. And if the house is worth it, let your peace come upon it. But if it's not worthy, let your peace return to you. If anyone who will not receive you or listen to your words, take off the dust from your feet when you leave the house or town. Truly I say to you, it will be more bearable on the day of judgment for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah than for that town. Behold, I am sending you out as a sheep in the midst of wolves. So you be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. Beware of men, for they will deliver you over to courts and flog you in the synagogue. And you will be dragged over before governors and kings for my sake, to bear witness before them and the Gentiles. When they deliver you over, do not be anxious how you speak, not to speak or what you want to say. What you want to say will not be given to you in that hour. It is not you who speak, the Spirit of our Father speaking through you. And they will deliver a brother over to death, and the father his child, and the child will rise against his parents and have them put to death. And you will be hated by all for my name's sake, and the one who draws to the end will be saved. And they persecute you in one town, place in there. How truly I say to you, you will not have gone through all the towns of Israel before the Son of Man comes. A disciple is not above his teacher, nor a servant above his master. It is enough for the disciple to be like his teacher, and the servant like his master. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebul, how much more will they malign those of his household? Have no fear, for nothing is covered that will not be revealed, or hidden that will not be known. For what I tell you in the dark, and in the light, and what you hear whispered cannot proclaim in the household. And do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather fear him who can destroy both soul and body in hell. Are not two sparrows sold for a penny, and not one of them will fall to the ground apart from you. Even the hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear not, therefore you are of more value than many sparrows. So everyone who will acknowledge me before men, will acknowledge me before my Father who is in heaven. And whoever denies me before men, I shall deny before my Father who is in heaven. I do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. I have come to see a man against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a person's enemies will be those who are of his own household. Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and whoever loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And whoever doesn't take his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds his life will lose, and whoever loses his life for my sake will find. Whoever receives you receives me, and whoever receives me receives him who sent me. And the one who receives a prophet because he is a prophet, will receive a prophet's reward. And the one who receives a righteous person because he is a righteous person, will receive a righteous person's reward. And whoever gives you one of these little ones, will even a cup of water, cold water, because he is disciples. Truly I say to you, he'll by no means lose his reward. And Jesus had finished instructing his 12 disciples. He went from there to teach and preach in their cities. Now when John heard in prison about the deeds of the Christ, he sent word by his disciples and said to him, only the one who is to come, or shall we look for another? And Jesus answered them, go and tell John what you hear and see. The blind receive their sight, and the lame walk, limbs are cleansed, and the deaf hear, and the dead are raised up, and the poor have good news preached to them. And blessed is the one who is not offended by me. And as they went away, Jesus began to speak to the crowds concerning John. What did you go out into the wilderness to see? A reed shaken by the wind? What then did you go out to see? A man dressed in soft clothing? Those who wear soft clothing are in king's houses. What then did you go out to see? A prophet? Yes, I tell you, and more than a prophet. This is he of whom it is written, behold, I'll send my messenger before your face, who will prepare your way before you. Truly I say to you, among those born of woman, there has arisen no one greater than John the Baptist. Yet the one who is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. From the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven has suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. And if you are willing to accept it, he is Elijah who is to come. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. To what shall I compare this generation? It is like children sitting in the marketplaces and calling to their proclaimers. We played the flute for you, and you did not dance. We sang a dirge, and you did not mourn. John came neither eating nor drinking, and yet you say, and they say, he is a demon. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, Look at him, a glutton and a drunkard, and a friend of tax collectors and sinners. Yet wisdom is justified by deeds. And he began to denounce the cities, and most of the mighty works were being done, for they did not repent. Woe to you, Chorazin! Woe to you, Bethsaida! For if the mighty works done you had been done in Tyre and Sidon, they would have repented longer in sackcloth and ashes. But I tell you, it will be more bearable on the day of judgment for Tyre and Sidon than for you. And you, Capernaum, will you be exalted to heaven? You will be brought down to Hades. For if the mighty works done you had been done in Sidon, it would have remained until this day. And I tell you that it will not be more tolerable on the day of judgment for the land of Sidon than for you. At that time Jesus declared, I thank you, Father, of Lord of heaven and earth, that you have hidden these things from the wise and understanding, and revealed them to little children. Yes, Father, for such was your gracious will. All things have been handed over to me by my Father, and no one knows the Son except the Father, and no one knows the Father except the Son, and anyone to whom the Son chooses to reveal. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. At that time Jesus went through the grain fields on the Sabbath, and his disciples were hungry, and they began to pluck heads of grain and to eat. And when the Pharisees saw, he said to them, Look, your disciples are doing what is not lawful to do on the Sabbath. He said to them, Have you not read what David did when he was hungry, and those who were with him, how he entered the house of God and ate the bread of the presence, which it was not lawful for him to eat, nor for those who were with him, only for the priests? Or have you not read in the law how on the Sabbath the priests in the temple profaned the Sabbath, and are guiltless? I tell you, something greater than the temple is you. And if you had known what this means, I desire mercy and not sacrifice, you would not have condemned the guiltless. For the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath. He went and entered their synagogue, and a man was there with a withered hand. And they asked him, Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath? So that they might accuse him. And he said to them, Which one of you has a sheep? If it falls into a pit on the Sabbath, you will not take hold of it and lift it out. Or how much more value is a man than a sheep? So it is lawful to do good on the Sabbath. And he said to the man, Stretch out your hand. The man stretched it out, and it was restored healthy like the other. The Pharisees went out and conspired against him, how to destroy him. Jesus aware of this withdrew from him, and many followed him. And he healed them all and ordered them not to make him known. This was to fulfill what was spoken by the prophet Isaiah. My servant whom I have chosen, I have beloved, with whom my soul is well pleased. I will put my spirit upon him, and he will proclaim justice to the Gentiles. He will not quarrel or quietly, nor will anyone hear his voice in the streets. A brick he will not break, and a smouldering wick he will not quench, until he brings justice to victory. In his name the Gentiles will have. Do you resist oppressed man, whose blind and mute was brought to him, and he healed him, so that the man spake and saw, and all the people were amazed, and said, Can this be the Son of David? And then the Pharisees they said, It is only by Beelzebul, the prince of demons, that this man casts out demons. Knowing their thoughts, he said to them, Every kingdom divided against itself is laid waste, and no city or house divided against itself will stand. And if Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then can all his kingdom stand? And if I cast out demons by Beelzebul, by whom do your sons cast them out? Therefore they will be your judges. And if it is by the Spirit of God that cast out demons, and the kingdom of God has come upon you, well, how can someone enter a strong man's house and plunder his goods, unless he first binds the strong man? And this indeed may he may plunder this house. And if it's not with me, he is against me, and whoever does not gather with me scatters. Therefore I tell you, every sin and blasphemy will be forgiven. People with the blasphemy against the Spirit will not be forgiven. And whoever speaks a word against the Son of Man will be forgiven. But whoever speaks against the Holy Spirit will not be forgiven, either in this age or in the age to come. Either make the tree good and the fruit good, or make the tree bad and the fruit bad. Or the tree's named by its fruit, you brutal vipers. How can you speak good when you are evil? For out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. A good person out of the good treasure brings forth good, and the evil person out of the evil treasure brings forth evil. And tell you, on the day of judgment, people will give account for every careless word they speak. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. And some of the scribes and Pharisees answered him, saying, Teacher, we wish to see a sign from you. He answered, and you and our daughter's generation seeks for a sign. And this sign will be given to us at the son of Jun. For just as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the great fish, so will the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. And men of Nineveh will rise up at the judgment with this nation. Then some of the scribes and Pharisees answered him, saying, Teacher, we wish to see a sign from you. He answered them, and even our daughter's generation seeks for a sign. And a sign will be given to it, except the son of the prophet Jonah. For just as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the great sea, in the belly of the great sea, and so will the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. And then Nineveh will rise up at the judgment, and with this generation condemned, when they repent at the preaching of Jonah. And behold, something greater than Jonah is here. The queen of the south will rise up at the judgment with this generation and condemn it. For she came from the ends of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon. And behold, something greater than Solomon is here. And an unclean spirit is called. And I will post the apostle of the water with place of seeking rest, and finds none. And then says, and I will return to my house, which I can. And when they come, he finds the house empty, swept, and put in order. And he goes and brings with it 7 other spirits more evil than itself. And now enter into it, and the last day of that person is worse than the first. So Esther will be with this evil generation. While he was still speaking to the people, his mother and his brothers said to his son, let's come to C.Jun. And he replied to the man who told him, who is my mother and who are my brothers? And stretching out his hand towards his disciple, he said, here are my mother and my brothers. For whoever does the will of my Father will have inhabited my brother and sister and mother. And then the same day Jesus went out of the house and sat beside the sea, and great crowds gathered around him. So that he got into a boat and sat down, and the whole crowd stood on the beach. And he told them many things in parables, saying, the sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some seeds fell along the path, and the birds came and devoured them. Other seeds fell on rocky ground, where they did not have much soil, and immediately they sprang, since they had no depth for soil. And when the sun rose, they were scorched, and since they had no root, they withered away. Other seeds fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked them. Other seeds fell on good soil and produced grain, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. He who has ears, let him hear. And the disciples came and said to him, why do you speak to them in parables? But he answered, to you is being given to know the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not being given. For to the one who has more will be given, and he will have an abundance. And from the one who is not, even what he has will be taken away. This is when I speak to them in parables. Because seeing they do not see, and hearing they do not hear, nor do they understand. Indeed, in this case the prophecy of Isaiah is fulfilled that says, you indeed hear but never understand, and you will indeed see but never perceive. And those people are going dull, and with their ears they can barely hear. With their eyes they are closed, lest they should see with their ears, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and turn, and I will heal them. And blessed are your eyes where they see, and your ears where they hear. But truly I say to you, many prophets and righteous people want to see what you see, and I did not see, and to hear what you hear, and did not hear. And the parable of the sower, and anyone hears the word of the kingdom and does not understand, you find the counsel and just the way what is being said is hard. This is what was sown along the path. For as for what was sown on rocky ground, is the one who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy. Yet he is no root in himself, and endures for a while, and when tribulation and persecution arises on account of the word, immediately he falls away. And as for what was sown among thorns, is the one who hears the word, and he cares of the word and the deceitfulness of which rejects the word, and it proves untruthful and fruitful. As for what is sown on good soil, is the one who bears the word and understands it. He indeed bears fruit and yield, in one case 100-fold, and another 60, and another 30. He put another parable for them, saying, the kingdom of heaven may be compared to a man who sowed good seed in his field. When his man was sleeping, an enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat and went away. So when the plants came up and bore grain, and the weeds appeared also. And so the master of the house came and said to him, Master, didn't you not sow good seed in the field? In your field, how then does it have weeds? Proverbs 3. My son, do not forget your teaching, but keep my commandments. For like the days and years of life and the peace they'll add to you. And no selfish love and faithfulness will seek you. Bind them around your neck, write them on the tablet of your heart. So you'll find faith and good success in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your path. He will make straight your path. If you don't wise in your own eyes, fear the Lord and turn away from the evil way. Or we heal into your flesh and refreshment to your body. Turn the Lord with your wealth and with the first fruits of all your produce. Your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline, or be weary of his reproof. The Lord reproves him whom he loves, and as a father, the son in whom he delights. Blessed is the one who finds wisdom, and the one who gets understanding. And a gain from her is better than gain from silver, and a profit better than gold. He is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare with it. From life is in the right hand, in the left hand are riches and honor. The ways are ways of pleasantness, and all paths are peace. She is a trail of light to those who lay hold of her. Those who hold her fast called blessed. The Lord by wisdom found the earth, by understanding he established the heavens. I acknowledge the deep shake open, and the clouds drop down the dew. My son, do not lose sight of these. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. It will be life for your soul and endurance for your neck. Then you will walk on your way securely, and your foot will not stumble. If you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Do not be afraid of sudden terror or of the ruin of the wicked when it comes. The Lord will be your confidence, and will keep your foot from being caught. Do not withhold good from those who to whom it is due. When it's your power to do it, do not say to your neighbor, go and come again, and tomorrow I'll give it when you have it with you. Do not plan evil against your neighbor. Do not trust in the neighbor beside you. Do not connect him with a man for no reason. When he is done you no harm. Do not envy a man of violence, and do not choose any of his ways. A thief's destiny is an abomination to the Lord. And that outright owns his confidence. The Lord's curses on the house of the wicked, he blesses the dwelling of the righteous. Towards the corners he is scornful, but to the humble he gives favor. Wise one her honor, but fools get disgrace. Psalm 69. Save me, O God, for the waters have come up to my neck. I sink in deep mire where there's no floor. I have come into deep waters, and the flood sweeps over me. And wherewith crying out, my throat is parted, my eyes grow dim, and as with waiting for my God. More in number than the hairs on my head are those to hate me without cause. Many are those who destroy me, those who attack me fly. What did I not steal? Must I now restore? O God, you know my fault, the wrongs I have done are not hidden from me. Let not those who hope in you be put to shame through me. O Lord God of hosts, let not those who seek you be brought to dishonor through me. O God of Israel, for it is for your sake that I have all reproach, and dishonor has come on my face. And I have become a stranger to my brothers and alien to my mother's son. The zeal for your house has consumed me. The reproaches of those who reproach have fallen on me, and I wept and held my soul as frosting. It became my reproach when I made with sackcloth my clothing, and became a byword to them, and the talk of those who sit in the gate. And then the drunkards make songs about me. And as for me, my prayers to you, O God, at an acceptable time, O God, in the abundance of steadfast love, and answer me in your saving faithfulness. Deliver me from sinking in the mire. Let me be delivered from my enemies and from the deep water, and not the floods sweep over me, and the deep swallow me up, or the pit closes his mouth over me. Answer me, O Lord, for your steadfast love is good. Hide not your abundant mercy turn to me. Hide not your face from yourself, for I am in distress. Make haste to answer me, join me to my soul, redeem me. Answer me because of my enemies. You know my reproach and my shame and my dishonor. My face are all known to you. Those reproaches are broken in my heart. So now I am in despair. I look for pity, but there was none, and for comforters, but I found none. Who gave me poison for fear, and for my thirst they gave me sour wine to drink. Let their own table before them become a snare. And then they are at peace, let it become a trap. Let their eyes be darkened, so that they cannot see, and make their loins tremble continually. Pour out your indignation upon them, and let your burning anger overtake them. And their camp be a desolation, and let no one dwell on their tents. Will they persecute him whom you have struck down? And will count the pain of those who have wounded, adding the punishment upon punishment. And may they have no acquittal from me. Let them be blotted out of the book of the living, and let them not be enrolled among the righteous. I am afflicted and in pain. And let your salvation, O God, set me on high. I'll praise the name of God with a song, and I'll magnify him with thanksgiving. And this will please the Lord more than sorrowful with horns and hoofs. And yet the humble seed there will be glad. You seek God, let your hearts revive. The Lord is needy and does not despise his own people. You are prisoners, let heaven and earth praise the seas and everything. And that moves them there. For God saves Zion and build the cities of Judah. The people shall dwell there and possess it. The offspring of his sons shall inherit it, and those who love his name shall dwell in it. Now the foundation and to the Lord's prayer. Please by your hands, the Father in heaven, and there be your name. Your kingdom come, your be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we have forgiven our debtors. Please not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Give us the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.